Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we're going to be featuring a team that Jjan used to get to legend, and then I also used to get to legend. It features Alolan, Sandslash, Azumarill with Ice Beam and Play Rough, though I think Hydro Pump might be better on this one just because there's a lot of Sandslash and a lot of steals, and then Medicham with Ice Punch and Psychic. So let's go ahead and get started with the battles here. Overall, I went 17 and 8, climbed like 150 points. Ended off with 2-4-1 runs here. I'm not sure why my video is not playing here. Okay, let's go ahead. There you go. Just gonna speed this up a little bit here. It did take me a little bit while to find some matches. Queue times were kind of weird here. Anyways, we're off in the fourth set here. So my Sandslash is a little bit higher attack because a lot of people have very low attack Sandslashes. So actually almost always no shield in the mirror. Obviously, if your Sandslash is not as high attack, then because a lot, like most of the time they actually bait. But even if they don't bait, then I go up a shield and they come into Sableye, try to catch the foul play. But the opponent was very patient there. Decided to no shield, and I could have threw the play rough here before they made it to the return, which maybe would have been the smarter play. Then they end up baiting me again, so I do one and throw the ice beam. They're almost certainly gonna shield. They would survive the ice beam, but they really want to get off this return. I throw on CMP. I just want to get rid of this Sableye. And they do throw the return here, totally fine. And then I'm going to look to switch right away into Medicham. Oh no, actually go into back to Sandslash, and I throw the Ice Punch, and I'm in a really good spot here. Even if they, there's no way they can farm me down without me getting to another move, so they're gonna have to shield this one, and they're gonna have to throw at the Sandslash. And at this point in time, I can just farm down everything at this point in time. And all I need to do is shield, because the only way I lose here is I get hurricaned. And they throw the weather wall bait, not a big deal. And I'm going to look to counter down. This is just another weather ball. And I should be able to easily counter down everything. Counter down. And both their Pokemon will fade to one counter anyway. So I throw the Ice Punch at the Sableye because why not? Just make sure that they don't get to a move, though they would have fainted to a counter anyway. So end up winning the game there. That's just like how I like to play the Sandslash mirror, because every single Sandslash I won CMP. Mine's like rank 300 something on my Shadow Sandslash. And this team worked out really well. Azumarill, honestly, was probably the MVP of this team. Maybe not in these battles, but in general, there's a lot of teams that are triple weak to Azumarill, so it was very nice to play with. Okay, Trevenant, obviously this is where I want to see it. They are staying in, which means that they're probably double weak. I go up here, and I just make sure that they don't catch. They end up switching out. They're attempting to catch the Ice Punch, and they come into Toxapex, which is also not great for me. I am going to farm up a little bit here before throwing. Farm up to 100, maybe a little bit over 100 to be honest there. And then I'm going to look to switch out right away into Medicham. The opponent is locked in for a little bit still. And I come into Medicham, and the opponent's going to have to throw. And I have a good amount of energy. Now I'm a Medicham, but this Trev is very close to a move. So I don't shield this because I'm in a really good spot, because the Obsidian is not going to be able to do much against Azumarill. And I know I'm in a really good spot here. They're dry right now. I'm going to build up some energy and then throw the Ice Punch. And they no shield. I go for the Draw Run, which is more energy efficient, also does more damage. And they decide to no shield, and really there's just no lose con for me at this point in time. So I decide to no shield, and they actually decide to cross chop me. Both moves are resisted, Night Slash and cross chop, but Slash would have same type attack bonus, but obviously this opponent is just doing it for the memes or the lols or whatever you want to call it. Sorry for the lack of uploads. I've been moved, as you can tell by my new background. Nil's still not quite fully moved in. We have all our stuff, most of our stuff here, but it's been very busy the last little bit, so I haven't had much chance to create very much content. I'm just gonna speed this up here. And I have Sandslash into Jellicent. This is a good lead for me. And they actually decide to throw an alignment here. I guess they really want the damage. So I'm going to do 1 and throw the drill run. And then I would win the 0 when I do get the sneak. Because I would be able to CMP tie. But I assume that they're going to throw right away. So I decide to catch the surf onto the zoom roll rather than dumping the energy, and they come into knockdown. And this is where Ice Beam is helpful, and I do land the Ice Beam onto the knockdown. And zoom roll is just a really tanky Pokemon, so they throw good timing. I think they're at 9 right now, so now they're at 3, so they will be able to reach another one here. I'm gonna let this go. Now they're 1 over. I'm just going to do 1 and throw the Ice Beam. And I'm in a very good spot right now. And they come into Galarian Sunfist, and this is absolutely game over. Very interesting team composition there. Jellicent, Noctowl, and Galarian Sunfist. I guess very kind of weak to the Lantern, and now I face an Alolan Ninetales. This is a good lead. I resist Charm, resist Powder Snow, but in this case they have Charm, but the Charms are chunking. I do throw the Drill Run at this Ninetales with good timing, and they are going to throw right here. I'm going to let this go because I survived the Side Shock. And I'm going to throw the Drill Run right away because I have the move. I don't think I would survive the next Charm. I guess we'll see if I did survive this Charm. I did not, and I come into a Zoom Roll. I do expect them to throw onto CMP. So I'm going to let this go. And then I'm going to do 1 bubble. 1 bubble. Maybe I could have bubbled down here, to be honest, but it would have been really close. So I'm going to undercharge the Ice Beam. And then look to bubble down. Gonna come up with an Ice Beam, and they come into kind of crazy. They have ABA Fairy, and throw the player off. Then I switch out into Medicham, and I'm in a pretty decent spot right now. Actually, this game was kind of weird here. They Ice Beam bait me. And I do want to have a little bit of energy in cases like an Altaria or something, or a flyer where I need energy. I thought the Ice Punch would actually do more damage here. So this is not necessarily the smartest play by me. And they come into Umbreon. I do go for the extra counter there. I'm going to do 4 and switch. 3, 4. And they don't throw right away, which is very patient, very good patience by them, because I should have did 1 counter, then maybe try to catch later. But I do 1 counter, throw the Ice Punch, because now pretty close to 100 energy. And I'm going to do 1 counter. Oh, no, okay. I do 1 counter and throw. I need energy for the Zoom Roll. And I do 4, then throw. They actually end up surviving this move. And then I wait, and then here I don't know. I waited there for the switch. I saw the switch coming. I should have been able to CMP tie the Zoom Roll because I knew I needed to counter, but I kind of made a dumb play there. I should have went for the Psychic against the Zoom Roll, then taken it out, rather than attempt to throw 2 Ice Punches at the Zoom Roll. Would have been a smarter play on my side, but that's okay. All right. This is a decent lead. They come into G-Fest. They actually decided to throw the Rock Slide here, which is pretty interesting. And I'm going to count to 5 and catch the Rock Slide onto Medicham. And I'm going to look to counter this all the way down. I should be able to counter down. I'll have to take an Earthquake, which will put me pretty low. I let this go. I could have thrown on CMP, but the Ice Punch wouldn't have KO'd, so it makes sense for me to counter down and then leave with basically 100 energy. And I'm going to throw the Psychic. I will have a Psychic and an Ice Punch ready. They come into Shadow Charizard, and they actually take the full Psychic. Does a tremendous amount of damage, and I throw the Ice Punch. And they come into Medi. I decided to switch out and then just throw both drill runs at this Medicham. And I will be able to get this second drill run off, which will put this Medicham super low or grab a shield. And this game's over, right? So there's not really too much. I really should even wait here, because I guess I should wait here in case they like psychic. This is like the best play conceptually. And I decided to no shield here because really there's no lose con here, to be honest. And they decide to Ice Punch me. I guess like conceptually you don't want to shield the first one because you get Psychic baited, or not Psychic baited. You could get defense dropped with Psychic or Pup baited. And we're on to my Legend set, and this is Sandslash into Sableye, and they actually come into Vigoroth. I'm gonna let this go. I should be able to counter this Vigoroth all the way down. They land the Body Slam. They land another Body Slam. And I should be able to counter down within the next 5 counters. It's actually very close here. And I'm going to throw the Ice Punches at this Sableye. Try to do as much chip damage as possible. I really want to be able to switch out. And I actually like frame drop there. So I missed throwing the Ice Punch right away, but it's fine. End up surviving anyway. So, and then I come into a Zoom Roll. And I decide to shield. They go for the return. And I'm going to do 3, then throw the Ice Beam at them. Throw a good timing. Though I probably could have did 5 and beat them to the move. I came with a little bit more energy, but they come into Machamp. And this is okay for me. I throw the Ice Beam, which doesn't KO, but it would put the Machamp quite low that I could bubble it down. As you see, these bubbles are doing a tremendous amount of damage. I'm going to let this go. And all I have to do here is get this Ice Beam off. They throw the Rock Slide. I throw the Ice Beam. Then I'm going to immediately swap and then just make it to the Ice Punch versus this Machamp. And then I'm able to take out the Machamp with this Ice Punch. Very interesting team there. Sableye double counter. Very unconventional counters. Not Medicham. And I'm just going to speed this up here. And I go into the Medi Mirror. And this is not a great position for me, but that's okay. I'm going to farm up a little bit here in case I need energy for the Medicham. I decide to wait for the counter to make sure they don't catch it onto something else. And I need to get to this Ice Punch. I end up losing CMP, which is okay. I end up, unfortunately, not surviving this Ice Punch. So they must have like a counter breakpoint or something, because typically I would be able to survive that. And they come into Galarian Stunfisk. And this is actually a pretty crazy match to try to win here. I fake the Hydro Pump. So I go up to the Hydro Pump, throw the Ice Beam. They end up no shielding. And I'm in lots of trouble right now. I'm going to take another EQ, which they will reach right here. The Ice Beam wouldn't have KO'd anyway, so it didn't really matter that and plus the Earthquake doesn't KO. I'm going to do 1, throw the Ice Beam, then look to switch. Their Medicham is pretty low. And I switch out, get a few Shadow Claws in. And they actually have Sandslash of their own. And they attempt to catch here, and I commit to the farm down, and I get taking a tremendous amount of damage. They actually probably would have been better off just coming Medicham into it because they would have got an extra counter in, but because of the switch. And then I'm going to build up here, and then I'm going to go for the bait again. This is like an absolute insane ending. I get the double bait, and then I survive with like almost no HP. That Shadow Claw almost certainly would have KO'd my Sandslash, and I'm able to take it out with the 2 shield flex there. Worked out pretty nicely for me there. And we end up in the Sandslash mirror. And again, I normally play this because I have a higher attack Sandslash, and I just no shield. This is like the only time I actually got straight up drill run versus this. Yeah, this is the time I straight up got. Oh no, actually no, they didn't get drill run there. Was this a different one here? And they bank the move here, and I come. Oh, okay. This is the Deoxys. Okay, this is actually. I guess this is the earlier match I got. I don't know here. Anyways, I'm gonna double shield these Thunderbolts, and because I do expect them to have another answer for Medicham in the back. That's a little bit harder than the Deoxys. I'm gonna shield. They do have a move banked on the Sandslash. And then I'm gonna do 3, then throw the Ice Beam. And then I'm gonna look to switch into Medicham right away. And they come into Altaria. And this is okay. I throw the Ice Punch. And they actually go for the correct play here because I would have survived the Sky Attack at this health range. They actually go for the Moonblast, which does KO. And then I'm going to farm up. They should be dry right now. And I'm going to farm up a little bit with Sandslash. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to farm all the way down. And I throw this Ice Punch. They actually choose not to throw right away because I guess they're afraid of losing CMP, which makes sense. But I'm able to make it to the drill run. Just barely. And then I just need to get to the play rough. I guess I could just throw the play rough right away here because they would have KO'd. But once I saw how much the drill run did, I was going to be able to survive another Shadow Claw and plus the drill run. So I felt pretty comfortable here. Even though it was really close, I was able to take out the Sandslash with the play rough and win the game. That worked out pretty nicely for me. And I ended up, okay, this is the Sandslash that actually didn't bait here. So many Sandslashes baited me. And but again, I win CMP versus almost like most of the Sandslashes I played. They end up shielding. I let this go. If it's a mirror team, having the shield advantage is really helpful. And they come into a zoom roll. They kind of like they got the 0 turn switch there, which is a. Did they get the 0 turn switch? Maybe they didn't there. Anyways, I throw the Psychic. I'm gonna do 1 counter, then look to switch, and I catch the move. And they throw the play rough. I need 2 play roughs to KO. And I throw the play rough. And they make a nice play here. I should have waited here and then threw the Ice Beam at the zoom roll here. But I throw the play rough in case they try to catch. This does slightly more damage. This also prevents them from making it to a move with their Sandslash because they just barely feint before getting to the move, which is actually really helpful for me. Otherwise, I probably would have got countered down by this Medicham. And I'm going to farm up a little bit extra here. Throw the Psychic. Does a pretty good amount of damage. And I throw the Ice Punch. Though I'm like almost certain I get baited. Here, it's just like, it's too risky for me. And plus I can probably fast move down this team. I let this go because I know it's an Ice Punch. And then they try to catch, and I just counter this all the way down. And then I survive the counter there, and then make it to another Ice Punch to take out this Medicham. Worked out really nicely for me. Though I probably would have been able to bubble down, even though my Azu is quite low. I resist counter. The bubbles would do neutral damage, so worked out really nicely there. And that secured legend for me here. We're gonna play this. Gonna show this last game here. This is a very interesting team by my opponent. I tried to play the best I could here, but it was gonna be very tough. And I decided to catch the foul play. Though maybe I should have caught on Medicham, to be honest. And they come into Toxapex, and this is absolutely disastrous for me. Very, very bad for me. And I'm just gonna speed this up here because this battle is quite long here. Throw the play rough, does absolutely nothing. And I'm like, please throw the Sledge Wave. And they actually end up throwing the Brine at me. And I throw the play rough, and I'm looking to get out because I need to conjure up something here. I switch out, throw the Drill Run at them. They throw the Brine at me, which is, I guess, okay here. They throw the Brine, and I'm going to throw the Drill Run on CMP, which is okay for me. And I will make it to another Drill Run. So I commit there, get the Drill Run off. And then I catch on Azu again, but you'll see what's in the back. It's just not going to be feasible for me to win. They end up throwing an alignment, which I get an extra counter in, but this game is pretty much over. I throw a CMP tie with the Surf, but it really doesn't matter too much. I shield, but just not going to be enough here. Actually, lag there. I think I dropped a turn there. Otherwise, I would have been able to make it to the move before them. And I throw it 4, hoping that they would shield. And then I land another Ice Punch here. But I go for my only winning player, which is throwing the Psychic here because they have the Sludge Wave now. Yeah. And that was my only win con there, was hoping that they would no shield. But this opponent played it very nice. It's a very tough backline for the Zoom roll. But this team was really fun to run. Thank you, Jjan'S, for posting on Twitter and letting me use it. Always coming up with some really great teams. And Alolan Sandslash was great. Azumarill was awesome. And Medicham is Medicham. Anyways, I'm going to leave there. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.